So we've just got back to the homestead, and I thought I'd just do a little chat about how we have been moving our kit around the forest. So everyone's had a day sack on, but really importantly the fact that we've got the waist strap, because that is how we attach the pulks. So pulks, 2 carabiners. I had them clipped onto the gear loops on my waist straps, but I found that started to pull. So actually what I did was clip onto the arm straps, which allowed it to slip down, and that gave a much more comfortable pull, I found. So we've set it up that when we come to stop, the gear that you need to get to the quickest is most accessible. So I've got in the day pack today, thermos that had our lunch of dehydrated pasta, probably the best dehydrated meal I've ever had, and we had water. Okay, when you stop, snowmobile in the distance, when we stopped, we stamped out a bit of a platform, so we weren't resting in the deep snow. So the first thing you do when you stop is grab your mothership, which is your big coat that goes over the top, the Montane Extreme jacket with the pile lining. It's been an absolute godsend. It works really well. The one thing I was worried about was the fact that it is synthetic, and I've got a tiny little burn on the front of it. One of the lads did manage to stick his coat to the stove, which he's not too chuffed about, but it's just why these natural fibres are so good in these environments. When we stopped and we'd stamped down the ground, first thing we did, got a reindeer pelt, chucked that down, and instantly we've got some insulation. I'll put that in the front where you can see it. Instantly get some insulation through the snow. Now, what Phil, the guide, was saying, that in 1 square centimetre of hide there's 2,000 hairs. Now I've definitely noticed over the last couple of days, I've ate a couple. I will be finding them everywhere for the next few weeks, that's for sure. Now as we were leaving, the last thing we did was make ourselves some porridge. So in here are the pots and pans that were put on the top of the pulk, in a dry bag. Everything's separated using dry bags. Now this was a cracking piece of kit. This one piece coverall, working just like a dry bag, but without the clips. So it's a long stiff seam that we rolled over to enclose the rest of the kit, including snow shovel, very useful. So last night when we slept in the snow graves, they were dug out with a snow shovel. What I really liked about the system is very similar to canoe tripping, so something I'm fairly familiar with. We had, as well as your day bag, what was known as your day kit. So anything that you might want to access on the pulk, or when we're moving around camp, so in there we've got the saw, the knife, any additional, a couple of changes of clothes, a big trapper's hat, camera kit, what else? A hat. Yes, very useful. I thought I'd be able to get away with beanies, but actually when it came to stopping, I had to double up on hats. But this trapper's hat, an essential bit of kit. Especially we found out when we got back, we're chatting to the owners of the homestead, that the night we were doing fire sentry detail, it got really cold in the hot tent. It was minus 27 here, which means out in the forest, potentially we were pushing minus 30. So yeah, in the day bag, a few other bits of kits, wash kits, a few extra layers, and that sort of thing. Next, the big bag is the night kit. So when we're going into the tent, this is all we needed, just to minimise the amount of kit that was laid out in here. We've got our night kit. So roll mats, liner, sleeping bag. That is about it. Oh, what else? And I got my tarp from last night for making the snow shelter. That is us about done with the pulk. And finally, because we are traveling as a group, there were bits of kit that we needed to share. So I've got a tent section here. Our tent was 3 sections, 2 sort of traditional half semicircle lavu, then with a center extension. So those 3 parts, and a pole that we shared out, and a couple of ground sheets. But such a beautiful way to transport kit around the woods. Once you hit a compact trail, now these trails get used fairly regularly, the sledge just slides really effortlessly. Once you pick up a bit of momentum, stopping and starting, you can feel it, but once you have momentum, you barely notice it. Breaking through, sort of trailblazing if you like, gets a little bit tricky because the snow starts to build up and bunch up on the front, and it turns into a bit of a plough. But cracking piece of kit, perfect for this kind of trip.